What are the issues from your perspective that make the move away from Black Hills such an important step for Pueblo?
Well, thanks, David, and thank you all for hosting this. I've been watching all of the different events you've been putting on, and there's so much great information. I just really appreciate you all educating the voters. I think my main motivation of trying to get involved is that Pueblo deserves better. We just do. Literally, people have been made homeless when they couldn't pay their electric bill. They were forced out of their homes. There's been people who have literally either tried to use a generator, a gas-powered generator, which we all know is dangerous, to power their homes because they couldn't pay the bills. Or we've actually heard of people just living without electricity. I mean, what year is it, right? So when I started hearing these stories when I was a community organizer, I started digging in deeper and trying to figure out, how do you push back against a monopoly when we have no choice? And that's when I first learned about the franchise agreement and what everybody keeps talking about, this off-ramp and the ability to get out from underneath this predatory company is the reason why I'm here and the reason why I will continue to fight to make sure that we have an electric system that is ran by the people for the people, and make sure that we no longer are paying for shareholders' profits.
What do you see as the actual economic impacts that Black Hills high rates and policies have caused for our community, both in terms of its impact on existing businesses, prospective businesses, and maybe even on our economically challenged populations as well?
Really, what we've seen happen with demand charges, we've had small businesses literally just not be able to keep their doors open because they couldn't afford their utility rates anymore. If you talk to leaders who work with economic development and try to bring new businesses here, when they open up the books and they see the utility rates, they literally pass us by. Why would they come here and pay more than if they were to go somewhere else, say up the road, and to a municipal utility whose rates are much lower? Why would they come here? It's been a real impact, economic impact on our town for far, far too long. And I think it's something that we tend to ignore. I mean, it's also an economic impact on the state. Let me be frank. We have a ton of state buildings here that are under the Black Hills territory. And I've started to do some digging and start looking in at how much more do we pay for utilities, mostly electric utilities here in Pueblo for the state versus other areas where we have state buildings. And it's black and white. You can see exactly the difference that we pay here in Pueblo as the state based off of the different rates that we pay for Excel across the rest of the state. Which is also an investor-owned utility company. So when you're comparing them together, it's just such an astronomical difference. And there's no reason that all of this should be something that's happening in Pueblo. You want to talk about the economic impact on the lower income folks. It's been so frustrating to me to watch what happens to people when they can't pay their bills. I want to share a quick story. There was a night years ago, my phone rang, and my phone number's out there. It's on my business card, so it's not unusual for my phone to ring with a number I don't know. And I answer the phone, and it's a man crying. He's on oxygen, living in a trailer, and his power got turned off, and he was begging me to help him. He needed his oxygen. There was nothing I can do in the middle of the night to get his power turned back on. The best I could offer him, because his cell phone was also going dead, was to call an ambulance for him. That's what we've been dealing with. When you talk about economic development, how do people expect us to thrive in a community when businesses have to shut their doors, when corporations who are maybe looking at opening up here open up the books and see the rates and how drastically different they are here and pass us by? This is definitely a massively productive business plan for Black Hills Energy. They are making a ton of money off of us. They do get the return on investment, at least a 9% guaranteed return on investment for any capital that they decide to build. And let's be real, the people who are paying for that capital to be built is us in our rates. Every time they were getting a rate increase to build something new, they didn't pay for that out of their shareholder dollars. They didn't pay for that out of their profits. They just increased our rates. I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of reading their quarterly statements to their shareholders bragging about their profits and how profitable it is to be an investor in this company. It's time we take our power back. Literally, Pueblo deserves so much better, and we can do so many amazing things. Pueblo's known for that. We're known for coming together and standing up together and making things better. And this is the prime example I can think of to move Pueblo forward and really start focusing on economic development, because we won't have to be working with the rates that we've been dealing with. Everybody has power, and you have power in your ballot. Make sure you vote. Yes.